Just a little warm-up. Hello, everybody. Jump into the chat, say hello, let me know you're here and who you are and what we're going to do. So, I'm just going to say it. Okay. Alonzo, you still here from last night or what? Okay. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be in a triplet mode. As you saw when I was warming up, I was doing a triplet vamp. Let me bring the tempo up a little bit, and let me loosen up just a little bit more. Who is this? Renzo. How you doing? Try to do triplet vamps at this tempo. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 measures, 2, 3, 4. Left hand. We put the timer on. Lower that just a little bit. Here we go. 4 measures right, 4 measures left. 1, 2, 3, zap. 1. Nice and relaxed. 2, 3, 4. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Left hand, we go. 1, 4 measures. 2, 3, 4. We all familiar with the triplet roll? 4, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, no? 4, 2. Left, right hand. Triplet roll. We understand what that is? 4. Yes or no? Okay, just need to get the blood circulating. Alright, basically what I'm going to do, because the attendance wasn't too strong last night or yesterday afternoon, so what I'm basically going to do, kind of go over some of the things I've done last night and yesterday afternoon and expand on it. Luciano, I didn't get this to finish the PDFs. Sometime today you'll get them, and you too, Renzo, as well. Okay? And whoever wants the PDFs, you need to email me. I will put you on my email list, and I will send you the PDFs. So let me put my email in there. So we should have the syncopation book, the stick control book. Now I want to do sort of a review of what I did last night. And it's a matter of interpretation. You know, the difference between straight up and down and swung, and then I eliminate the lefts. I reference from the stick control book at first. As it's the brilliance of George Lawrence Stone that I'm really amazed at, because it's just an endless journey with the stick control book. Again, you gentlemen might know what I'm talking about, some, and some might not. That's why I'm going to start what I did last night, the straight up and down, the first line of stick control book. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the two measures. That's how you visualize the first line. It's just straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if I say, let's swing that line, what do I mean by that? It's written straight up and down. It's not written swung. Okay, so now what happens is, like I said, I revert immediately to a triplet zone or a triplet mode. And that's my eighth note triplet. I count the eighth note triplet as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when I demonstrate something like this, the triplet, I also need to make understood there are other ways of counting the triplet, like 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, or 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta, or 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I use two different methods. The one I like to use, and it works really well, not just on one surface, but on a four-dimensional, on the drum set as well. What I do, I count the triplets, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. I use alternating strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's my norm when I count triplets. Some guys come in, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, which is fine. Or they go 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta, or however they do that. Occasionally, I will count a triplet, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on. It just said my battery's running low. I apologize. I had to plug it in. Okay, so now, I said occasionally I'll count a triple like this. 1, 2, 3. And when I do it like that, it's for subdivisional reasons. If I'm teaching polyrhythms, 3 against 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a triplet. 1 and 2. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta. 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'm doing 3 with one hand. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 1. That's one of the ways I use the triplet in a subdivisional sense. Okay, now let's go back to the straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I take that line and I swing it. And like I said, I go right to the triplet mode. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Now, I look at the line and I interpret all the ands as the duh of the triplet. And I do not play the and of the triplet. So if I played the first 1 and, it would be 1 and duh. Second downbeat, 2 and duh. Third downbeat, 3 and fourth downbeat, 4 and I put it together and I swing it. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now again, the difference, straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now you might understand it a little bit better and visualize it as, say, line 3. Of the stick control book, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and straight up and down. Now I want to swing that. So now I go to the triplet mode. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I do the paradiddle sticking, one more, then I'll go to the fill-ins, then the triplet roll. The paradiddle sticking, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to swing that, so I go to the triplet mode. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay? Now, that is how I'm interpreting for this next exercise the stick control book. But there's a couple more steps. I'm going to look at line 1 and I'm going to interpret it as swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to eliminate, that means to get rid of or move over or put on the table or whatever, all the lefts. And I'm just going to play the rights. And the right is telling me 1. And I'm thinking swing though. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. I go to line 2, straight up and down. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what's written. I'm going to interpret swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts and I got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so with that, does everybody understand the interpretation? Yes or no? Y for yes and for no. We have Renzo, we have Luciano. Who else is in here? Say hello. Make friends with these guys. All drummers. Tell your friends about what's going on here. I'm opening up my site as of tomorrow. It's going to be reopened. And we might go over there tomorrow sometime. Okay, gentlemen? Everybody understands it? Okay. So now we eliminated the lefts. And we're going to fill in. We're going to make a triplet a straight line, which is linear. Now, I don't want to get into a whole scientific explanation of what linear is, because I could sit here for, like I said, the next hour and talk about what's in harmony, where it goes, what it's doing, what are the vibrations, what's the square root, and all that stuff, okay? It's just a straight line of rhythm. If I played a straight line of rhythm, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's a straight line of rhythm. This is not a straight line of rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and but actually it is. I don't, like I said, don't want to get into it, but it's part of a linear concept. Okay. Oh, these computers drive me crazy. Hold on. Get the bar good. All right. Now, back to line 1. Eliminating the lefts. All I'm getting with the right is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm going to make it a straight line of triplets. So with my left hand, I'm going to play this. I would say is forte. This is piano. Or if you want to refer to it as a ghost note, which I'd rather you didn't, just make it a piano note. I'm going to fill in the blanks. The blank for the triplet would be 1, 1, and 2, 3, 4. So now I just played the first measure. I interpreted the way we just discussed the approach, and I filled in with the triplet. So I'll do line 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over. 3 and 4 and now, as you can see, I'm favoring my right side. You can reverse this exercise. Same interpretation. You're eliminating the left, but you're playing the rights as the accent. 1. That will be number on. I'm interpreting on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have the right side and the left side. Okay? Understand that, gentlemen? 1, 2. That's line 1. We'll go to line 2, and we're going to fill in, again, the blanks. We're going to make it a straight line of triplets. We're interpreting the right, which falls now on the da of the triplet. 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. And we're going to fill in the blanks, make it linear. Now, the term linear, like I said, it's a straight line. And I forgot to mention, I apologize, no two voices are played at one time. It's one separate voice in a straight line of rhythm. So now, let's do line 2. All right, we have 1 and da, nice and slow, and da. 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da, 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. A little faster. Now what I like to do, before I continue into like line 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, I like to combine the first line and the second line. And I look at it as the downbeat and the upbeat. And it's a good exercise. So let's start off with that one, kind of slow. Let's go to 80. That's my pulse. 1 and the 2 and the, now I'm going to fill it in. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 2, line 2. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now, we're not playing any melody. We're learning a different approach, a good exercise, and it's for hand development and focus. Now, eventually, I will write out a melodic line. Let's say a 12-bar blues or a 4-bar phrase, and we'll interpret the phrase like I'm doing now. We'll do a drum set application, and if you're familiar with the melody that we're working with that particular day, you'll get a pretty good insight, and a tremendous amount of doors will open up for you. So that was at 80. Let me go to 100. Let me try 100. My hands feel pretty loose right now. You have to understand, it gets hot and cold here. The lights make it hot, the air conditioning makes it cold, and my hand, and my body, my arms, or my blood is confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, line 1. 3, line 2, 1. Now it kind of opens you up, man. It makes you feel good. Let's up it a little bit. Let's go to 130, and then we'll go on to the next couple lines. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 1 twice, line 2 twice. I would like to do something like that if I'm practicing that at that particular tempo, which is not very, very fast. And I'm still keeping my sticks high because I want to really work it. I'll do that for maybe 3, 4 minutes at a time. Stop, let the blood recirculate again, and up the metronome and do it a little bit faster for 2 or 3 minutes. Now you don't want to see me sit here for 2 or 3 minutes and do that because I want to go on further. There's only so much time I have on YouTube, not because I can stay on YouTube for 3 hours, it's not a problem. But I have other things at lessons to give today, and companies to call, and drum clinics to schedule. Okay? I will, if everybody gets on my email, You will be notified of the up-and-coming events with Mark Walker, Carl Lathan, and Daniel Glass and Mike Clark. They're all going to be doing live lessons in this studio within the next 2 months. So if you want to be informed about the times or whatever, email me. Okay, let's go to line 3 and 4 and 5. We're going to stop at 5. So let's go to line 3, which is straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the first measure of line 3. So now I'm going to interpret line 3 swung. Again, I go to the triplet mode mentally. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so there's the difference between straight up and down and swung. Now, what I do, I eliminate the lefts. So that's going to give me 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the interpretation I'm reading from the stick control book. Now, with that interpretation, I'm dropping in the remainder, or the balance, so to speak, of the triplet. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and now this is one dimensional. We are going to go over to the drum set next week one day, and I'm going to show you how I apply it to the drum set, not only with one surface but a substitution. All rights are equal in the bass drum against the jazz time. It's a very interesting concept. It's something I didn't create. It's there. It's there for the taking. And it's up to you to expand and interpret. So let's go to line 3. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm going to drop the triplets in, fill in the balance. Got it, gentlemen? Everybody understand that line? Line 3. Line 4. It just shifts over 1. Straight up and down line 4 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And. Okay, I swing that. I get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts. I get 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 4, and I fill in the blanks. A straight line of triplets. 1 and 2 and okay. Alright, now that takes us to line 5. The paradiddle sticking. Notice I didn't say the single paradiddle. I said the paradiddle sticking. There's a lot of reasons for that, because the language gets very, very confusing. And technically, line 5 is a paradiddle sticking, but it's also an alternating paradiddle. And we'll get into that in another lesson. Right now, what we're going to do, who is that? Guido. Okay. Right now we're going to do line 5. The sticking straight up and down. Sticking for line 5, the paradiddle sticking. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and play swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The 2, 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts rather, excuse me. I get 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and fill in the blanks. Here we go. Slower. 1 and the I'm sorry. Oh, what am I thinking? 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the. There you go. 1, 2. Okay, so that's going to give us the fill-ins. The interpretation is just another way, gentlemen, of interpreting the stick control book. Okay, now we're going to go up to the triplet roll. Now, I don't have to go into the interpretation because we just did that. The interpretation is the same. All right, eliminating the lefts, playing just the rights. But the right's going to change. Instead of it's going to be a right, it's going to be a left sometimes because of the roll. So bear with it. Try to understand this. Any questions, just shoot them, man. No problem. Now, I'm interpreting line 1, just the rights again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be my pulse. And between the distance of downbeats, I'm going to fill it in this time with a triplet roll. Let me just give you my interpretation how I count a triplet roll. All right, I'm counting eighth note triplets and I'm doubling each count. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Okay, now line 1 is telling me they want a 1, 2, 3, 4. So the and the of that triplet is going to be doubled. 1 and 2 and 3. Now, rudimentally speaking, that would be called a 5-stroke roll. And, you know, I have another exercise called the triplet roll progression. And it turns into 3-stroke rolls, 5-stroke rolls, 7-stroke rolls, 6-stroke rolls. And if I do the whole progression, we're going to be into the 99th stroke roll, which is totally, in my opinion, ridiculous. So there's the 2 schools of thought, the 2 schools of drumming. There's the rudimental school and the non-rudimental school. I need to go with the non-rudimental school because in reality, it is a rudimental school, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The rudimental school is if I say, let me play a 4-stroke rough. Usually a 1. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Or let me play some alternating paradiddles. Or let me play, again, the 5-stroke roll. Or 5-stroke rough. Or single 5, as they call it now. But anyway, if you analyze everything I just played, it's a combination of a single and a double stroke. That's 2 of the basic rudiments that's you can consider non-rudimental drumming. And there's one more, it's the flam. Anything else, okay, is a combination of a double, a single, or a flam, would be considered a hybrid rudiment. Do we agree with that, gentlemen? Or disagree? Whatever, it's not a problem. Anyway, what the rudimental school, it's a language, okay? And let's take field drummers in the drum corps, for example. I mean, they have some really great drum lines, and guys have some great hands. But could you imagine being a drum instructor for a drum line and saying, okay, play a grouping of 10 doubles and 1 single? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So what they do is, to form communication, let's play a string of 5-stroke rolls. Let's play 5s and 7-stroke rolls. It's a language, so 10 people or 12 people or 3 people or how many people you ever have can understand it. And then the flams, the flam paradiddle, the flam tap. And if you analyze those rudiments that they call the flam tap, the flam accent, Swiss Army triplet, they're all combinations of either a flam, a single, or a double. And I consider them hybrid. And in reality, if you're looking at page 5 of Stick Control book, line 5, is the first hybrid rudiment you come to. Is that not a combination of singles and doubles? Two singles and a double. No accident we're doing. Right? We have 1, 2. Two singles, double. Two singles, double. That's your first hybrid rudiment. And your first journey into linear drumming would be the stick control book, 5, 6, and 7. One surface. No feet. Okay, just the hands. It's all linear. And these are things that a lot of gentlemen play, but they're not aware of the terms. And the terms today get so confusing. And people love to argue. And guess what? I don't love to argue. If you want to call it whatever you want to call it, call it. Like, for example, I call this the full stroke. Or, I mean, that's a free stroke, actually. It's a full stroke position. Some people, when I'm playing a paradiddle, as down, up, tap, tap, call that the molar. That's not molar. I don't know what molar is. That's not even what they call George Lawrence Stone to modify it or bring it down to just wrist. It's the laws of physics, is what it is. Luciano, why is that hot? What does that mean? You agreeing or disagreeing with me? Yeah, well, I'm part of the world, but I don't argue, and I'm not going to argue. No way. I'm too old to argue. See, people who argue, in my opinion, are kind of insecure and immature as well. All right? What I'm telling you, this is how I do a full stroke. Okay? Now, you might disagree with it. I'm not going to argue with you. No problem. That's how I do it. Whatever way you want to do it, if it works for you, do it. That's part of the language. Full stroke. It's a free stroke. Full stroke position, free stroke. It's always a waste of time. And here's why people argue, like I said. What they do is they're insecure, and they're very negative, and, you know, somebody told them this, so that's right. Nah, wrong. Here's bottom line. 1 + 1 = 2. Not a problem. That's what it equals. But you know what? There are people out there who argue with you. And after about an hour of arguing about 1 + 1 = 2, at the end of the day, they're telling you 1 + 1 = 2. You're not telling them that. Because you get steamed and hyper. So it doesn't really pay. Very insecure, very negative people. See, I know who I am. So I don't have to argue with nobody. I've dealt with some really, really phenomenal players. They've sat in this studio. I sat in their studio. We discussed and we talked shop. Hey man, they have no ego or whatever. They're all humble and they know who they are. And that's the beauty of being a musician. You know, you have to remember this. You have to remember this. All right, this is the way I feel about it. We all are on the same journey to get better. Now, if you want to argue on the way, you're wasting time. People talk about this guy's faster, this guy's better. I can't deal with that. No more. There is, number one, no one better than you or whoever else is in here and than me. We are all equal. However, we are all in different places. It's as simple as that. Okay? Now, let's get back to the the triplet roll. You can call this the triplet roll fill-ins. You can call it syncopated rolls. Whatever you want to call it. I'm just calling it the fill-in rolls or the triplet roll. The first one I was interpreting as a 5. 1 and 2 and 3. But notice the level. That's number 1. Now, what I suggest if you're going to hang out with 5-stroke rolls is to revisit it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, Now, the slower you play something, the stronger you become. And eventually, the faster you'll be able to play it. Because when you play it slow, it takes a tremendous amount of control. Once you develop the control, you can take it to wherever you'd like. Now, I'm not out to prove a point or break any kind of speed records, which is totally ridiculous. I'm out there to play music, create, make the band and the music sound good. That's what I'm about. Okay, let's go to line 2. Now, all the R's are falling on the does. 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. So now I'm going to start the roll, and I'm going to end each roll, the triplet roll, on the da of the triplet. 1 and da. See that? 2 and da. 1 and da, 2 and da. Line 1 was 1 and 2. I'm ending on the downbeat. The second one was ending on the last note of the triplet, the da. 1 and da, 2 and da. We understand that, gentlemen? Now I go to line 3. 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. Now we're going to fill in the blanks again, right, with the triplet roll. So we have 1 and da. That's the first downbeat. 1 and da. Then we have 2 and 3 and 4 and We understand the third one? Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, something else happens here when I do the first downbeat there. I'm going like this. 1 and da. Now, some guys say, that was a single drag you played there. Well, me, no. I just played a fill-in using a triplet roll. And it happens to be part of the rudimental language, which they call a drag. A duple and a king note, or a principal note. Okay, now we go to line 5. All right? If you want me to go to line 4, I will, but I think line 5. Well, maybe we'll see you tonight, Renzo. Okay? I'm going to be closing it up in about 5 or 10 minutes anyway. But I hope I helped you out somewhat. Okay, so now, we're going to go to line 5. And you have to watch out for this guy. You're going to have 1 and, you have 1 and, then you have 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 1, back. Now I'm going to have this all written out I'm going to have this all written out. Line 3, okay. No problem, Luciano. I like that, man. If you're uncertain of something, I have more respect for people who, not that they're uncertain, but they ask because they want to make it correct, or they want to understand my interpretation. Okay? And that's where it's at, man. That's the journey of learning. And you're right on it. Now, again, let me just break it down really slow. The first downbeat, 1 and I'm playing my right, 1 and Okay, so now, the and of the triplet is going to be a duple or part of the roll. Like this, 1 and But notice I'm keeping my hand down, okay, because my hand's down rather, because I'm going to start doing a triplet roll starting with the left hand. 2 and And I'm now back in position to attack the 3. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I'm going to have this written out for you. You'll get it. There's nothing to get lost at. It's just what you're doing. You're ending the roll. Or you're ending the roll on the visible note. The visible note on line 3 is 1 and Okay? Now, you're filling in the blank. 1 and I have to come down, because my 2 and da is just a roll, no accents. 2 and I'm up da. So I get in position to nail the accent. That's the whole level system, which we've gone over a few times, and we're going to revisit it again. You have 1. That's line 3. Now, what I'm going to do this evening, well, no, the accents are not just falling on the right hand now. No. They can fall on the left. On that particular exercise, yes. But if I went to the does, just played 1 and da, I just ended that one with the right hand. That's line 2, 1 and da. Now I want to start the fill in now with the left, 2 and da. So now it was with the left. You'll see when you get the PDFs. Line 3, if I start like that, if I start line 3, 1 and let me see. Line 3 would be 1 and da. I'm starting with the right side. If I start with the left side, it reverses itself. 1 and da. You'll see it when you get the PDF. Once you understand the approach and the concept and the interpretation, you're going to love that page. When I first started doing live online lessons on my site, I had one student, well, I had a lot of students, but the one particular student, and this is funny, my primary source of teaching, and it should be, I think, everybody's source of teaching, is the stick control book. Yeah, and it depends on where you end the roll as well, Luciano. Alright, I'm going to make a separate video on this, other than this lesson, because when you tape the lessons, there's a lot of conversing, like talking back and forth, and whoever listens to the video who wasn't at the lesson don't understand what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is, when I'm backlogged with some videos, I have to make a few. Okay, I'll get to this one, and I will make it, and I will post it on YouTube. All right, and I'll let you know where. I'll give you the link when you come to the lesson. I forgot where I was. Anyway, I need to go because it is now 1:45. I will continue the lesson. I will send everybody the PDFs. Anybody wants them, you need to email me. I'm going to put my email in there again. Want them? Email me. I'll put you on my mailing list. I'll send you the PDFs. Got to give me a little couple hours here. Okay, and you will be notified of all the up and coming events, when, the times, blah, and all that stuff. And I will try to put a schedule together for everybody to see. Now, because of the way, hold on, what is that? Good. But I'm still going to make a video for those who don't, Luciano. Alright, now, anyway, I'm going to be sending everybody a schedule. I will be alternating the free lessons on YouTube to the paid lessons on my site. However, I'm thinking or considering for maybe the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm going to open it up for free. So you get a chance to see what the drum set applications are. And if you'd like to register, you can register. It's very inexpensive. Okay? And I'm going to put the schedule together, but because of the holiday coming this weekend, the first Monday of every September is Labor Day. So I probably cannot come back until Tuesday of next week. I will be here tonight, and I will be here tomorrow. But then I won't be back until Tuesday of next week. And that one is going to be on this site, and the other one's going to be on the other site. Okay, gentlemen, any questions? I hope I've helped you out some sort of way. and we're going to continue where we left off from this last night's lessons and today's lesson tonight. Okay, gentlemen, have a good night or a good day or wherever you are in the world.